S&P and NASDAQ maybe closing in on a breakout here as markets finish the day up over 1% for the most part across the board here. We had the triple Qs gaining about 1.2, sorry, 1.6, and the Russell up 1.29. S&P up just under 1% here, and then the Dow brought up the rear, up 0.25%. So markets kind of sitting on the edge of this wedge and peaking above the upper trend line there on the cash S&P. Got a nice like kind of mini bull inside bar, and there is a little bit of a time count set up there too that I'm looking at that can trigger tomorrow. We talked about this yesterday. So we probably see similar energy to today, that being Wednesday, tomorrow, which today being Thursday. And, we said that maybe we'd stall out by the end of the day and kind of like do an inverse, but we didn't. We just went for it a little bit here, and we closed just below 75.50 on the SPX. There is interest up there for tomorrow. And it's very possible we could try to break out here. I mean, we're in a position, you're above the moving averages, you have the bull inside. You've been hammering on that wedge for, how long here, and it just hasn't been able to really clear it. But, I mean, how long can it really continue to do that? If we look at the ES here, you can see, I mean, you're right inside of that, and, everybody's trying to call it a diamond. I'm not really in that camp at all. And if you look at the NQ, I mean, you trapped the diamond. So, I mean, you have bears trapped there, and there's fuel for that. I can tell you right now that tomorrow 760 is on the board on SPY. We talked about this in the Sunday night video. If you caught that, you know what the low was yesterday. We talked about 740, and we definitely bought that. And so far, so good there. So it is possible to see 760 tomorrow on the SPY, 730 on the Qs, and 7600 on SPX. There is a big call wall though at 75.52 still on the cash S&P. So there's the spiders and SPX here for tomorrow. So you see that there. So it's up there. It's certainly a possibility. I would think that we might need to gap down tomorrow to make that a possibility, because I think if you want a VIX crush Friday, you kind of need volatility to jump just a little bit. Or if we do gap up, then I think you get like a retest in the morning, kind of like what we had today, and then push higher. I don't see us reversing this tomorrow. At worst, I think I would say that we would see packing and filling, maybe back to like SPY 745. But I don't see like a reversal of sorts here, especially not in the dog days of summer here. And I mean, if they couldn't take us down on the bombing, I don't see what else would do it here. So yeah, we had those setups there. We also had a nice gain today in MRVL. Very nice dealer level that we hit yesterday around 220, 225, and that had a nice jump here. That was 7%. Took some gains off on SPXL with the trading room there as well. And that 740 spot was very nice. So, and again, like always, I can show you these setups in here, but what I can't show you in a short video is the actual entry, the actual exit, and the risk management in real time. That's what we do every morning at 8:45 on our pre-market show, What's Moving Markets. Check that out on the main channel. And if you want to be in the trading room, the actual trades in real time, that's at carnivoretrades.com. Links for all that's in the description and pinned comment. Come join us. We got a sale going on all month. But yeah, outside of that, what was I impressed with today? Definitely cloud software. So we had a very nice gap down. CRM here was, and I actually have some CRM here. They were downgraded. And don't you love when they downgraded after it's already down like over 50%? So a lot of these stocks came back, and I was very impressed here, like INTU, Adobe, MicroStink. It's not MicroStonk anymore, it's MicroStink still. But I like how we gapped down, and immediately, like without hesitation, boom, V-shape, right? That's accumulation. Definitely accumulation there. And the market rallied with the semis today. We had 300 advancers, so you can't cry about the breadth today. I know people will anyway, though. But, it was, breadth was pretty good here. And what was very impressive is mags. Again, we gave out that buy level. Another setup we go over here for free. But we gave out that setup on the mags last week or 2 weeks ago, whenever it was. And that had a huge day. I'm still running an AMZU I still have Apple from a while ago. And I think if they're going to break this out, it seems to me that it's likely we'll continue and trend tomorrow because Apple is at about an all-time high. So I think if they got Apple this close to new all-time highs and tomorrow's Friday, they're just gonna. I would think they're just gonna send it. I mean, they'll use Apple to do what they want to do, and people forget about Apple. Apple is still. I know it's not market cap Nvidia; it's close, but Apple is still a tool, and it still is used very. It's very powerful. Don't forget about Apple. It can really. It's still the king to me, anyway. So I was impressed with Cloud. I was impressed with Bitstonk. We'll talk about that later, as per normal. Transports, that a little liquidity grab there yesterday, just like the Qs, gapping below that trend line and that 50-day, triggering the diamond, but no follow through. So a nice little bear trap there. Same on the Russell, like little test candle and then right back up. The Dow is fractionally higher today, but that's fine. We don't want the Dow up. We want semis up. We want tech up. We want the growth sectors. And SMH obviously doing that. It does have room for lower highs, though, so I will say that. We talked about Cloud. There's XHB. TLT did bounce. It held our 84 handle. This might just close the week at 84.50. Yeah, 84.50 to 85. And then XHB rebounding with that. IYR with a fractionally positive day. I'm off today, aren't I? XLF up 1%, KRE up 1.8. But again, nice retest of the high and right back up. So that may make new all-time highs soon. I mean, it's not that far away. Regional banks, man. XHB, that's a new all-time high. Oil got hammered, absolutely. And I'm glad I'm covering those. I meant to check this earlier. I can do that with you right here because I wanted to look at USO because there was a call. There was some dealer support. Yeah, there's dealer support here for USO. It was at your biggest LG was 110, but we kind of lost that a little bit. I don't see it going below 105. That's for sure. But definitely a little bit of a red flag. That the level just didn't hold. We just didn't hold. Like that should have held, and it tested it multiple times, right? So we got to it there, and then we didn't even really bounce off. We just grinded through it. So they smacked oil really hard here today. So it's looking unless something crazy happens overnight, we're not getting to that 120 on USO tomorrow. XLE down, and all the oil and gas plays. Dollar was down as well. If it loses that 20-day, it might have a date with 100. Gold did rebound today, but I need to see this get above 4,200 like tomorrow. I think that would be kind of what you want because these are starting to look like bear flags now, right? And I know you got the divergence there. I talked about it. That's why I picked up some GLD or UGL rather, a small position, but. If this just goes sideways enough, this won't be divergent anymore, and it's just close to doing that. Copper HG, nice bid today, but ultimately still inside of that range there. And then last but not least, Bitcoin had a nice day again, and it, it acted well. Right, and I've noted that the last couple of days, it has outperformed not just the S&P but the Nasdaq. Like even on these, we down the last two, but I like the dip by there, right? Everybody thought it was rolling over, and it was an impulsive dip too. 1-2 pullback, didn't make a new low, and now we're back up, versus looking at SPY, we took out last Thursday's low. The Qs took out like the low of the last couple of weeks, right? Whereas Bitcoin didn't even make a new low like on the day, or it didn't even make a new low past Monday's dip. So definitely a little bit of strength there in the structure anyway. Alt's not as strong here though. But outside of that, we'll see what we get here. It's I'm starting to get into the summer doldrums, and again, don't overtrade here. But this is why we got to take advantage of these dips when you get them, because once they happen, the algos just turn this into float mode, and they can lock you out. So, but anyways, guys, we'll wrap it up here. Don't forget to come find me on carnivoretrades.com. You guys take care, and we'll see you guys all in the next video.